Have you ever tried to hold wet sand in your hands? The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. That's exactly what happens when we try to control everything in our lives. The job, the future, how people see us, even our own emotions. And if you're feeling exhausted, burned out, or constantly anxious, maybe it's not because you're doing too little, but because you're trying to hold on too tight. In a world that tells you to hustle harder, plan better, stay strong, what if the real power is in letting go? Eckhart Tolle once said, "Surrender is the simple but profound wisdom of yielding to rather than opposing the flow of life." And Carl Jung reminded us, "What you resist persists." These two insights alone have helped millions of people around the world finally understand why peace feels so far away, and how to bring it closer. This isn't about giving up. It's about releasing the illusion that you're supposed to control every outcome. Because maybe, just maybe, letting go isn't weakness. Maybe it's your superpower. And today you'll see why. Through powerful stories of people like Lady Gaga, Serena Williams, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, people who learned that surrender was their turning point, we're going to explore a new way of living. A way that isn't about holding on tighter but about learning how to breathe deeper. How to be lighter. How to finally feel free. If you've been living in survival mode, trying to force everything to go your way, this journey is for you. Because you're not alone. And you were never meant to carry the weight of control all by yourself. Let's take that first breath together. You wake up already tense. Your mind instantly starts sorting through everything you need to manage today. Work meetings, bills, texts you haven't answered, family stuff. And somewhere behind all of that is the silent panic. What if I miss something? So you tighten your grip. You try to plan every detail, predict every outcome, control how people see you, how things unfold, even how you feel. It's exhausting. But what if this need to control everything isn't helping you? It's hurting you. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist persists." And if there's one thing modern life resists, it's uncertainty. But that resistance doesn't bring peace. It breeds anxiety. And it's no coincidence that anxiety disorders are at an all-time high in the US. Nearly 40 million adults report chronic anxiety, much of it linked to the constant pressure to have it all under control. Let's look at someone the world knows well, Lady Gaga. Behind the fame and awards, Gaga has spoken openly about the anxiety and chronic pain she endured during her rise. In interviews with Oprah and Vogue, she revealed that her healing began not with more control, but with surrender. Through therapy, mindfulness, and accepting that she didn't have to be perfect, she found strength in letting go. It's a lesson echoed in Serena Williams' story. After a crushing US Open loss and public backlash, Serena didn't double down on control. She stepped back. She allowed herself to be vulnerable, to reflect, and to rebuild from a place of balance, not pressure. In doing so, she didn't become weaker, she became more human, more powerful. And then there's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We see him as unstoppable. But in multiple interviews he's talked about a period of deep depression. The moment he realized that trying to control everything was breaking him. The turning point. He let go. He stopped pretending everything was fine. He asked for help. And from there, real change began. These are people who had every reason to stay in control. Public image, pressure, expectations. But they found something deeper by doing the opposite. Eckhart Tolle teaches that when you let go of the need to control, life becomes more cooperative. And it's true. Life stops feeling like a battlefield and starts becoming something softer. Something you can breathe in again. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the belief that your value depends on everything going exactly as planned. So ask yourself, what are you gripping so tightly that it's draining the life out of you? Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't to fight harder. It's to finally let go. Sometimes the hardest person to be honest with is yourself. It's easier to keep moving, to stay busy, to chase goals and bury the feelings. But deep down you know something's off, like a quiet voice inside you that keeps getting louder. Maybe it's asking, who are you really when no one's watching? Or, are you living the life you chose? Or the one you think you're supposed to live? Carl Jung believed that true healing only begins when you stop pretending. He said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. In other words, you can't heal what you won't look at. That's what makes self-awareness such a radical act. It's not about judgment. It's about honesty. And it takes real courage to face what you've hidden, what you've avoided, what you've been trying to control within yourself. Demi Lovato knows this intimately. She's been raw and open about her struggles with addiction, eating disorders, and identity. In her documentaries, she shares how the turning point wasn't in being stronger. It was in being real. She stopped hiding. She started observing her patterns. She learned to sit with discomfort instead of numbing it. And that's when healing began. Bruce Springsteen, the boss himself, also battled internal darkness. In his memoir Born to Run, he writes about years of silent depression, even while performing in front of thousands. His freedom came not from more success, but from facing his inner storm. Therapy, reflection, and embracing his emotional truth became the key to peace. And Matthew McConaughey, known for his confidence and charm, revealed in Green Lights that the best version of himself only showed up when he let go of needing to always have it together. He began questioning his own beliefs, his habits, and the masks he wore. He allowed himself to grow without knowing exactly where it would take him. Brené Brown calls this the courage to be imperfect. And she's right. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the gateway to authenticity. Jordan Peterson also speaks to this need for honest self-examination. He says, if you want to change the world, you must first put your own house in perfect order. And that starts with facing yourself, fully, without filters. So here's a challenge. Take a quiet moment today and write down one truth about yourself that you've been avoiding. You don't have to share it, to see it, because seeing is the first step toward healing. And healing doesn't begin with control. It begins with clarity. We all crave stability, a job that feels secure, a relationship that feels predictable, a future that makes sense. But life doesn't work that way. And the more we try to force it into straight lines, the more chaotic it becomes. Here's the truth most people avoid. Everything changes. Your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your dreams, all of it is in motion. Trying to stop the wave doesn't make you safe. It just wears you out. Keanu Reeves understands this in a way few do. After losing his daughter and his partner in tragic moments, most people would have shut down. But Keanu didn't fight the pain. He accepted it. Quietly. Fully. And somehow in that surrender he found peace. Not from pretending it didn't hurt, but from flowing with what life gave him. Eckhart Tolle says, some changes look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. That's the heart of surrender. Making room for something deeper than control. Steve Jobs, in his legendary Stanford speech, said, remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. He understood impermanence. He didn't fight it. He used it. He allowed the awareness of death to sharpen his focus on life. And Marcus Aurelius, over 1,800 years ago, wrote, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs? The world may look different now. But the truth hasn't changed. Resistance creates suffering. Acceptance creates strength. Jewel, the singer who once lived in her car as a homeless teenager, didn't find her power by controlling the chaos around her. She found it in the calm she built within. Her music was born not from comfort, but from learning to dance with uncertainty. Alan Watts taught, the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. That's what this chapter is about. Not giving up, but learning the rhythm of real freedom. Here's something to try. Think of 3 things you've been trying to control. A situation, a person, a future outcome. Write them down. And then ask yourself, what would change if I loosened my grip? Letting go doesn't erase your power. It focuses it. And maybe it finally sets you free. Letting go. 2 simple words that carry more power than most people ever realize. Because what you've been holding on to, the need to be perfect, to have answers, to stay in control, may be the very thing standing between you and the peace you crave. Eckhart Tolle calls it the wisdom of surrender. Carl Jung called it the liberation that comes from facing what you fear most. Different voices, different times, same truth. You weren't made to hold it all together. You were made to grow, to feel, to change, to heal. And sometimes healing begins the moment you stop forcing it. Think back to everything we explored. How Lady Gaga, Serena Williams, and The Rock found strength not by gripping harder, but by letting go. How Demi Lovato, Bruce Springsteen, and Matthew McConaughey reclaimed their peace by facing themselves with honesty. How Keanu Reeves, Steve Jobs, and Jewel discovered freedom in the very place most people run from: change. What connects all of them isn't fame or fortune. It's the courage to surrender. To let life flow instead of trying to control the tide. So here's your invitation. Breathe. Let go of just one thing today. A fear. A story. A pressure you put on yourself. And if this message resonated with you, if it stirred something real, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It's a small act, but it helps share this kind of content with more people who might need it. Because we're all in this together. And in a world that tells you to hold on tighter, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to finally let go. Hey, incredible growth seekers. Wow, what a journey. If this video resonated, subscribe now for more life-changing content. Join our community of self-improvers. Smash that like button to fuel more content on mindfulness, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. Share this video to create a ripple of positive change. Comment below about your growth journey. Your insights shape our content. Next week. Boosting self-confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs. Don't miss it. Every interaction brings us closer to a world of empowered individuals. Let's make personal development global. Stay inspired, keep growing. Your best self awaits. Let's unlock it together.